Why we must keep on the watch. I went to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses today. This is an article that they were studying. Then they really impress upon you that you got to keep on the watch. What they don't tell you is that you're going to have to look other places to keep on the watch, because as a 5013C tax-exempt church, they are not allowed, they are not permitted to speak about the vital issues of the day. Remember, Jesus says, the world has no reason to hate you. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I bear witness that the works thereof are evil. Jehovah's Witnesses do not alert their members to all of the satanic organization that is encompassing the world right now. You see all the modern music and things like that, they all have the Illuminati symbols with the seeing eye and all of that. It's out in the open. Everybody knows it. But those poor Jehovah's Witnesses, they're told by their church never to listen to anybody else but them. Everything you need is in that watchtower. And they never mention one thing about what's going on today, because they're not allowed to speak about the vital issues of the day. Now, the New World Order, which is the goal of the Illuminati, the Freemasons, and of the Kabbalahism, is that New World Order, and Jehovah's Witnesses do not speak about this whatsoever. Blank. So Jehovah's Witnesses, in order for you to keep awake, you're going to have to look on the internet. Yeah, it's not all from the devil. You know, you have to be careful about what is from the devil and what's not. You might be surprised. But this New World Order is according to Bible prophecy. Not according to the Watchtower, but it's according to Bible prophecy. It speaks of the scarlet-colored beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, who is itself an 8th king, and is of the 7, and shall go off into perdition. Now this one is the one that demands worship of all of earth's inhabitants. They're not telling you that no man could buy or sell unless they receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. What does that sound like? Identification. Because if you don't worship the beast and you can't buy or sell, means you're not going to eat. You're not going to be involved with the system of things. It's time to leave. At that time, when they install that system, that's when Jesus says, when you see that abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, where it ought not, and it's going to be a false kingdom of God, that's where their peace and security comes in, and they're going to set over there in Jerusalem and try to rule, you know. These things are not secret. And it's not a theory. J. Edgar Hoover talked about it. He says there is a conspiracy that is so overwhelming that people would not believe it if they knew the truth about it. In 1913, Woodrow Wilson, he said there is a power somewhere so pervasive, so connected, so powerful, that those that speak against it better not speak it above their breath when they speak against it. Kennedy talked about this. The secrecy societies and secrecy is repugnant to us. 10 days before he was assassinated, they infiltrate all churches. They gain control of all the churches. They're not allowed to speak to you about what's going on in the world. So when they say you stay awake, are they keeping you awake? Do they talk about, they can't even talk about the plague of homelessness that has plagued the whole country. You have people dying in front of you. And what was the sin of Sodom? You read about that in the Bible. The fullness of bread and the idleness that was in her, neither did she strengthen the hands of the poor and the needy. That's what's going on in the United States. They are not allowed to reprove what's going on. They're not allowed to comment on what is happening in this world. It's like a car without an engine. People are drawn to preachers of righteousness. People that say they are Christian and follow Jesus Christ and yet do not do the work that he did. People are not going to be drawn to that. They love righteousness. Okay, well, they say, well, we're preaching the kingdom of God, and we allow other people to expose what's going on. No, that's without the engine, you see. How do people know you're righteous? How do people know what the kingdom of God is if you do not demonstrate the righteousness of God by putting yourself last and putting the truth first? By willing to expose what is evil, like Jesus Christ did, and risk his life. Now, if you're not following Christ, you're not his. You speak about the kingdom of God as a paradise, but who gets into that paradise? Those that dream of having a nice house? Are those the ones that God approves? You're looking for an easy way to get into the kingdom. It's not easy. He that seeks to save his life will lose it. But he that loses it for my sake, the same shall gain it. And they are not doing that. They do not allow their followers to do that. Of all the great and wonderful things they teach about God and the accurate knowledge that they have, they know that they are not complete in their Christian walk. They are conscious of the fact. That's why they tell you to stay awake. Because they can't keep you awake. They're not allowed to. By law, they are not allowed to. And they're not allowed to even tell you. They don't even tell you. They don't even want to tell you, I guess, you know. It would be nice if they just came out and said, honestly, you know, we're not allowed to, you have to do your own research because we're not allowed to talk about what's going on in the world. It's not enough just to say, stay awake. Jesus said to stay awake, but that meant that they were free to keep awake. But when you tell people to stay awake, and then you tell them not to read anything but their articles, and the articles are not keeping them awake, you have failed in your commission to Jesus Christ. And it's time you stop your selfishness. That's all it is. What does it say in the Bible? These watchmen are blind. They are dogs that forgot how to bark, loving to slumber, loving the money. You talk about money. You talk about we shouldn't be materialistic. And you put that ahead of the kingdom of God, your money, to save a few bucks? Get off of your tax-free thing and be free to speak the truth. But you don't love the truth. Otherwise, you would cut that crap out a long time ago. And you fail your disciples that Jesus Christ died for you, for them. And you fail them in your responsibility and in your false proclamation that you are faithful to God and discreet, just so you don't have to suffer persecution. Just like Jesus said to his brothers, hey, they don't have any reason to hate you, but they hate me because I bear witness that their works are wicked.